You basically can almost put anything in your yard sign on a sign. You were on point there at the beginning when you said it's an interesting issue because it is neighborhood association rules sort of embedded in bigger legal issues. So the first place where somebody could enjoin you or stop you is going to be, there are restrictions through covenants or other manner or means that are going to restrict some of your free speech on your yard sign based on the neighborhood that you're in. And when you buy your house and you join that neighborhood association, which you're kind of forced to, you're going to be held to some standard on that. So you probably couldn't put anything that's offensive. So it's really a question of where free speech and your neighborhood association rules, bump up against each other.
So let me make sure people understand. I'm not exaggerating when I say a big, ugly sign. It's intentionally ugly. It's not, and it's really, really big, and it's in their yard. Hang on. So here would be my legal argument if I own that house and I'm trying to sell my house. Yeah. You have every right to put whatever you want in your yard. What you don't have a right to do is ruin the value of what I own.
Right. And so you could put almost anything in your yard that you want, as tacky or ostentatious as it is. And then if it's against the neighborhood association rules, then somebody can report you and you deal with it that way. Where this case is so fascinating is that it seems to be tortious interference with a proposed contract or tortious interference with somebody trying to sell their home. And so a tort can be civil or criminal. Most torts are civil, and it's just a wrong that you're doing to somebody else. And in Texas, we have a pretty interesting area of law wherein if you are willfully trying to, or if you're actively, I should say, engage in the process of trying to sell something, you're trying to effectuate a contract, you're selling, you're trying to get willing buyers to come forward, and somebody else is willfully, intentionally, and or maliciously trying to interfere with your right to sell something. So in this one, though, I'm not sure. It really comes down to what the sign says. All the sign says is, if you're going to buy that house, come talk to me, right? Isn't that what the sign says?
I thought it said, don't buy it.
Well, yeah. If it gets to where their argument is they have the same homeowner, right?
Yeah,
the same guy. So that's where they would say truth is.
Right. Okay. So
they could put that ad in the paper. They could besmirch this builder on Yelp reviews and social media.
That's where I thought this kind of is going to, it seems like this is going to dive into their argument. Okay. So the backstory of this is the person who put a giant sign that says, don't buy it, meaning the neighbor's house, they had the same builder, and they think the builder sucks. They live in the house, but they think the builder sucks and did a lousy job, and this is their way of getting the builder back. So is my argument...
Which by the way, is pretty ingenious, by the
exactly.
way. I mean, if this guy really cost him $100,000 in plumbing and electrical bills, which is what the neighbors allege, it's kind of genius. I mean the guy had it coming.
Yeah, I mean, it really is kind of a brilliant way to get him back.